students, now this video will contain a concept of English which is omissions. Now I do not consider omissions to be a topic. Why? Because omissions are basically just the mistake that people generally make while speaking or while writing a sentence, maybe because the concepts are not clear. The concept, now if every topic of English has a concept, then it is very important to understand the concept, to understand the rules in order to avoid mistakes. Even if one rule is not clear, there are chances of making errors, there are chances of making mistakes, which we then define as omissions. So omissions on a whole is not a topic, it is just the concept which is made because of general errors which are made in the sentence, while either I can say verbal or non-verbal communication. Now omissions, if I define omissions, omissions are basically the words which we omit in a sentence, maybe because we feel that the usage of those words is not necessary, but in reality, on the principle of English, we are not supposed to miss out on those words. So here our topic is omissions in subject-verb agreement. Now subject-verb agreement is a very important topic from the grammatical point of view because both of them are interrelated with each other. If our subject is singular, then the verb used will also be singular, and if the subject is plural, then the verb is also plural, which means that the verb will go along with the subject in the sentence. So here when I'm talking about subject-verb agreement, there are two rules that they follow. First is the rule of number. When they are following the rule of number, now numbers in English are two. First is a singular number and then you have plural. So singular and plural. Now if there is a singular subject, then I have said that I will have a singular verb. But if there is a plural subject in my sentence, then my sentence will always have a plural verb in it. It cannot be that in a sentence there is a singular subject and I am making use of a plural verb corresponding to it. In that case, my sentence will contain an error. So this is the most important rule of English which we need to understand and follow. And second is with respect to person. Now our English grammar contains three persons: first person, second person and third person. For first person, I will be making use of a singular verb. For second person, I will be making use of a plural verb if it is you. But if it is he or she, I will be making use of a singular verb. And for a third person, again for third person, if I am making use of they or them, I will be making use of a plural verb. But if it is it, then I will be using a singular verb. So I have first person, second person and third person. Accordingly, I will be making use of my verbs. So here let us discuss some fields where omissions are present, where people make mistakes because of the lack of knowledge and lack of understanding of rules. First area is that whenever there is a compound noun or whenever there are two compound nouns and those two compound nouns are joined with or nor, whenever they are joined with words like or nor, in that case the verb used will be closest to the noun. Now for or, I am using two type of noun, first person or and then the second person, right? Now I will be using verb according to the second person. The one which is closest to the verb will be considered. This will be better understood through example. So here the example can be Maya or Sumita is willing to participate. When I say Maya or Sumita is willing to participate, here the closest to the verb is Sumita, and because Sumita is singular, I am making use of is. Here it makes my sentence correct. When I say neither Sudha nor her friends playing in park. When I say neither Sudha nor her friends playing in park, my sentence over here is wrong because the word which is very important is omitted over here. Now the word is actually a verb. I can see that in my sentence a verb is missing. Verb over here is my helping verb. My helping verb is missing over here and it is missing from this particular place. There is an omission in my sentence. I have to remove that omission, making use of the correct rule. The rule says that closest to the verb is this noun and my noun friends is plural. When I say my friends over here, her friends over here is plural, for plural subject I will be making use of a plural verb, and accordingly for her friends the plural verb will be are. So if I say are playing, then my sentence will be grammatically correct. I have removed the omission and my sentence is now error free. So this is the first area where we should remember the rule in order to avoid errors or omissions. So now let us understand more concepts of omissions in subject-verb agreement. Now the second concept or the second area is like there are some pronouns such as someone, no one, everyone, somebody, neither, nor. These are the pronouns which are always singular and these pronouns always take singular verb. I can explain this. Some pronouns such as everyone, none, no one, somebody, each, every, nobody. Now these are some of the pronouns which are singular. They are singular and for this reason they will always take a singular verb. For this reason they will always take a singular verb instead of taking a plural form. There are various examples that can be used for explaining this. Let us have a look at some of the examples. Now the examples can be, the first example can be every citizen right to information. When I say every citizen right to information, my sentence over here does not seem good. The sound of the sentence doesn't seem perfect. Why? Because there is a verb missing over here. The verb that I have to use over here is according to the subject. The subject over here is every citizen. every citizen is a singular subject. For singular subject, I will be making use of a singular verb. Since the verb is missing, there is an omission over here. The omission over here will be has. Every citizen has right to information. Has is a singular verb. And why am I using singular verb? Because the subject over here is singular, and therefore now my sentence is correct without any omissions. Second example can be, each of these machines noisy. When I say each of these machines noisy, over here my sentence again has a mistake. Why? Because one word has been omitted, and that word is a verb. A helping verb is missing over here. Each of these machines is my subject. Subject is actually each. I will be referring to each over here and not the machines. If I say each of these machines are noisy, my sentence will be wrong. Why? Because I will be making use of the verb according to the subject. The subject over here is singular. I will say is noisy. Please focus on this rule, because most of the people go wrong over here because the rules over here are not clear to them. Please understand these rules properly. Each, every, nobody is singular, and with singular subject we will always be using a singular verb. So this was the second area. The third rule says that there are some words or there are some nouns which end with s, and they are often considered to be plural, but actually they are singular. And for that singular noun, we will be making use of a singular verb. Even though if they end with s, still they are not considered to be plural, because they are considered to be a unit. They are considered to be one unit. So, some nouns ending with s are considered to be plural, but this statement over here is wrong. They are not actually plural. They are singular in nature, and because they are singular in nature, we will be using a singular verb along with them. Example of such words are statistics, mathematics, rupees, dollars, economics. These are some examples of the words which are in real singular in nature, but they are considered to be plural just because they end with s. So people mistake them with plural form, but actually they are singular. So let us have a look at the examples in our sentences. First, I can say that 100 rupees, not a big amount. When I say 100 rupees, not a big amount, over here I am missing with a verb. So my sentence is wrong. Why? Because a word has been omitted over here. I have to find out where do I need to place the verb in order to make a correct sentence. 100 rupees, over here there's an omission. Even though the rupee over here is with s, still it is considered to be singular. So I am having a singular subject. For singular subject, I will always be making use of a singular verb. 100 rupees is not a big amount. This will make my sentence grammatically correct. So make sure that you understand the rules very well. This was the third rule. Now let us understand some more rules in subject-verb agreement. So the fourth rule in the subject verb agreement says that there are some phrases like in addition to, together with, along, accompanied by, as well as, including. These are some of the phrases, but these phrases do not change the number of the subject. If the subject is plural, we will be making use of a plural verb, and if the subject is singular, then a singular verb will be used accordingly. So, now the fourth rule says that phrases like along with, including, in addition to, as well as, and then we can say accompanied by, these are some of the phrases. The verb do not change the number of subject. So these phrases do not affect the number of the subject. If the subject is singular, it will remain singular, and the verb also will remain singular according to my subject. So here the example through which we can explain this concept is when I say my cousin along with his friends going for a walk. When I say my cousin along with his friends going for a walk, here my phrase over here is along with his friends. I will not focus on the phrase over here, rather I will just focus on the subject. The subject over here is singular, and since the subject is singular, over here the helping verb is missing. I have an error. Why? Because a word has been omitted over here. I will say my cousin along with his friends. The subject is singular, the verb will also be singular. I will say is going for a walk. And this makes my sentence correct without any omissions. Why? Because now the verb is also singular, because the subject that I am using is also singular over here. Another example can be the committee members including Neha not ready for meeting. When I say the committee members including Neha not ready for meeting, again there is an omission. Why? Because the helping verb is omitted over here. My sentence over here is wrong. But with what help will I be making use of helping word, or will I be determining that whether I have to make use of a singular verb or a plural verb? That depends upon my subject over here. The subject over here is committee members, and committee members is plural, so I will be making use of a plural verb. The committee members including Neha are not ready for meeting, and this makes my sentence correct. I have removed the omission and made my sentence error free. So in this video we have discussed the omissions in subject verb agreement. We have specifically discussed the topic of subject verb agreement on whole by discussing each and every rule which must be followed according to different sentences. If we understand the concept of every rule, then there is no chance of making errors in our sentence. So keep learning and keep practicing.